Hi everyone. We're going to start to transition now in this course from the more theoretical type of topics like your set theory and your logic and number theory. And we're going to transition that into a more applied topics. So you've got your finance, your geometry, probability, statistics, and calculus. Okay, so all these topics are more applied. Whereas what we've been doing in the past so far is really more on the theoretical side of things, looking at sets and logic and numbers, which are really the building blocks of mathematics. And then we put those together, and now we're going to start to apply those to the real world, things that you're going to see in practice in your everyday life, how to manage money, looking at measurements and geometry, shapes, and things like that. And then looking at probability and statistics, which are two topics that really span just about every subject area that you can imagine. And then finally, a little bit of calculus involved. And calculus is really the study of change, how things change over time. It's kind of a very simple explanation. And every quantity that you can think of, almost every quantity will change over time. Time is a very important aspect there. And so as things change, their rates of change and things like that are able to be studied and summed up in the area of calculus. And so all this, all these applications are things that you can use. And of course the theory, the logic and the understanding of numbers are all important too. They can be used as well. It's kind of interesting that the theoretical side of things, how math can be utilized and applied in the real world, kind of blows me away, because math itself is completely abstract. It exists in our minds, right? It's not part of the physical world. The law of gravity doesn't exist anywhere, right? The number 2 doesn't exist anywhere. I can write the number 2 down, but it doesn't exist in a particular place. It's not made of matter. It's an idea. The number pi and the number e, if you can see those on my shirt, those are just numbers. They're just ideas. They're concepts. They don't exist in themselves anywhere. And so how do these abstract ideas apply to the physical world is fascinating to me. The physical world doesn't contain the number pi in a particular way. It's not located out there on Jupiter or something, right? Not like that. But the number pi is part of the laws that govern the motion of the planets, which is fascinating. And so it kind of shows to me that there's some sort of, if mathematics and numbers, they're all concepts in our minds, and there's got to be some sort of great mind out there that's governing all these things in our universe. And I think Galileo said it best when he said, mathematics is the alphabet with which God has written the universe. And so the way that these abstract things apply to the physical real world, it doesn't have to be that way, and it's that way, and it is that way in a sense that we can even understand it, or begin to understand it, and so that's what we're going to be seeing next, and it's very practical. Things like just looking at your income taxes, right, or measuring the length of a board that you need to cut, okay, or looking at some statistics for illnesses or something, right? So tons of this stuff is all very practical, and it can be influential in everybody's individual lives. And so you can see that with the Fibonacci sequence. That was crazy, those videos I had you watch with the Fibonacci sequence, and how the spirals, they show up in nature, the sequence of numbers 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, and so on, how those numbers just show up in order, right? They're in pairs, and they just fascinates me that that the universe is governed by these really, really interesting mathematical concepts that wouldn't really need to be there, but they are. So very cool. And now we'll get into some more applications that are just more useful to you.